Hey everyone, welcome to Surviving Mars Relaunched. This was released to the world on November 10th. It still has some bugs as of this recording. Some of them are fairly significant. This is after hotfix 1.0.3. So if there's been a hotfix or some other update since then, your mileage may vary. There may be some improvements. I'll call out the bugs when I notice them when they show up, but otherwise, the game mostly works. So yeah. So anyway, relaunched is the classic Surviving Mars with all of the previous DLCs, expansions, and a politics scheme, which is starting to grow on me as I interact with it a bit more. I played a couple of campaigns here where I've done okay. I managed to complete the terraforming of Mars in one, so the core systems mostly work if you can work out how to work with them. Uh, anyway, the challenge I'm going to go for here is a maximum difficulty run, at least as maximum as I can find. There may be a map with a higher challenge rating, but I haven't found it yet. Okay, so that's an important detail, right? Uh, the old 41 North, 11 West, uh, that one isn't quite max anymore. So anyway, here we go. Uh, I'm going to also do full disclosure. This is the sixth time I'm starting this challenge. The last five times have had issues with unfortunate RNG preventing achieving a goal, or unfortunate choices that made it impossible. Okay, so just to be aware of that. Uh, anyway, let's start a new game. Right. Okay, so we're going to run as Paradox Interactive. You have to use Paradox Interactive to get the maximum challenge rating. To get Paradox Interactive, though, you have to sign up for their newsletter, and you have to link with the email address linked with your Paradox account, and you have to link the game to your Paradox account. Okay. We're going to go with Futurist because that is the highest one. That gives us autonomous towers, but we research breakthrough techs a bit faster. So, that's okay. The mysteries are a little bit broken right now, where they seem to get stuck and don't progress. So to that end, I'm going to go with the last war. There's two reasons for that. I find it not terribly annoying, but also if the last war gets stuck, it doesn't tank. It doesn't necessarily tank your game on Mars if you've developed your colony properly. Project Utopia is probably fine. I haven't figured out a better founding faction, um, and it doesn't affect the difficulty level. Uh, Rival colonies, I'm going to turn them all off. This doesn't affect the difficulty ranking either, but it does make things a little bit harder in the early game because we can't get around the last arc um, game rule by recruiting colonists from rival colonies. And we can't get around the hunger rule by purchasing food or trading for food from other colonies or other from rivals. So that's actually an important point. So it actually makes things a little harder in the early game on that front, but it makes it easier to chase orbital anomalies and milestones. So there's that. We're going to turn on all of the game rules that increase the challenge rating. So that's active plate tectonics, restricted footwalk, and all of the ones right at the bottom here. Okay, so amateurs means we get no specialists in the applicant pool. Since we can only bring one rocket full of colonists anyway, that's not really as much of a limitation as it sounds like, but it still increases this number. Armageddon just means we get the maximum meteors issue. Dust in the wind means we get the maximum dust storms. Uh, Hunger means we can't import food from Earth. Inflation means prices go up over time for resources and everything else. Long ride means rockets take forever to go to and from Earth. There's an asterisk on that with the politics system. Rebel yell means that we're going to have a constant stream of renegades happening. Uh, Last arc, uh, that means we can only ever have one rocket full of colonists. Twister means we get more dust devils. Winter is coming means we get more and worse cold waves, and rough terrain means we have more obstacles and such that make construction more difficult. Just generally get in the way. Okay, and then the last thing is going to be tech variety, which juggles up the tech order, but not totally randomly. It keeps certain techs in certain rough areas in the tech progression. Uh, Chaos theory uh, up here does the full random, uh, but that can be punishingly hard or really cool, either way. So that gets us to our maximum base challenge of 1070, right? Red Dune's actually not a bad name, so I'm going to stick with it. We're going to go with Don't Panic for the logo, because, we're probably going to panic anyway, right? Now, next we got to pick our loadout, and we got to do this before we pick our location, right? Well, that's Earth, isn't it? Nice. Okay, so I am not going to take a Stirling generator. I am not going to take a moisture vaporator. I have a reason for that, and I'll explain that when we get to the map. I'm going to bring 2 fuel refineries. I will bring a drone hub. I will bring an explorer. I'm going to bring uh, 3 probes, maybe. I'm going to call a supply pod right away. So, I want to bring more machine parts. Yeah. And 3 probes. Yes, I'll bring 3 probes. Uh, I'll explain the reasoning for this when we get to Mars. Um, okay. Yes. Next. Now we need to pick our location. Now, uh, there's a lot of locations that will come up at 12:30. And there's quite a few at 12:15, 12:20, but there are a couple I found at 12:35. And one of those is at, let me check my notes. It is at 2 south, no, 5 south. Can't read my own writing. And 105 west. Okay, go. There we are, 12:35. Nothing fancy about this location name, the name of the location, whatever. Uh, it's mountainous, 6226 meters, minus 15 temperature. It does have lots of water, uh, but it's low concrete, medium metals, right? So that's our colony location. So start. So we let it load up here. Loading, 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 loading. There we go. That sound means that we have struck a milestone, I believe. Well, it's also revealed a sector. Anyway, welcome to Mars, etc., etc., etc. It's a standard welcome briefing, so we'll pause immediately. Something that, if you're familiar with the old 41 North, 11 West, this is basically that map. Uh, it took me a minute to clock that, but it's basically that map as it existed in Below and Beyond. Uh, so, uh, the structure of it, Anyway, here's the default starting position that it suggests. But note that's on cold ground, and I'm not sure I particularly like that. Uh, and That's kind of why I brought the probes, because there's an underground entrance right here. And I'd like to have that close to my starting point so I can get down there quickly, once I've dealt with things. There is another underground entrance. The second one is over here. And that's not really a great place to start. Up here, we'd have pretty good elevation boost for wind turbines and quite a bit of surface metals. But over here, we don't have a lot of surface metals. You'll see that. So I'm going to need to be able to get up here pretty quickly, but we'll get to that. No, the first thing I'm going to do is just go into the research and see what we have revealed. So, um, uh, well, I think we're going to want Explorer AI immediately for the research, and we're going to want Earth Mars Initiative immediately as well for the sponsor research. And I'm going to want to start going up the biotech tree immediately. The reason for that is I want to find farms, which will be somewhere in the first bit of the biotech tree, probably. Because farms, in-dome farms, are about your best food producer. Right. So, uh, now, low-G hydrosynthesis gets us the polymer factory and the fuel refinery. Those are fine, but uh, they don't especially help us right at this point in time. Anyway, so that's some research queued. Actually, I should put a couple more just so, well, research points will go in here. Yeah, that's actually fine. If we overflow, we won't. Anyway, if we take a look in here, in the mission profile, this is the target that I need to aim for right away if I want to do all of these. And that's what I'm aiming for here, right? And this is where I have failed five times already. Or I've just barely made it, and then the RNG tanked everything. Took out the entire colony with a meteor storm or something like that, right? But note, this means we have to have colonists on Mars by Sol 15, not on Sol 15, by the start of Sol 15. So if we land them on, 1 hour into Sol 15, it's too late. The reward on this one's actually useful. The a jumper shuttle hub. that is actually useful. So it is kind of worth aiming for. Normally, I would ignore that goal and build up and see if I can get the extra cargo capacity researches before I bring passenger capacity researches before I bring the passenger rocket, so I have a better population base to start with. Now, no, if we look at the milestones, first water on Mars, that's that 250, 25% of low G hydrosynthesis that popped up. And that's because of this here deposit. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan these two areas and also this one. Why? Whoops. Because this one has 71 surface metals, and these two are where we're going to really need to set up. Here we have a vista, which is going to be good for our dome, right? Here's the underground. Here's concrete, and here's surface metals, right? And there's even a research anomaly here, right? So what I want to do is drop the rocket down, say, over here. I'm going to want to get a moisture or a water. You know what? I'm going to plop this stuff down and then land the rocket. No. Oh, I can't until I drop the rocket down. Because I need drones. Ah. Well, we'll drop the rocket down right there. Okay. We'll clear the underground thing. We'll get to the underground right like after we get colonists. Right. Okay. Now, I said I was going to grab supply pods right away. The first thing I'm going to grab is a commander, right? Launch. I'm going to need that. The next thing I'm going to grab is a transport. Launch. Then I'm going to grab. Now, this is an unusual thing to start with. I am going to grab concrete, a maximum pod load of concrete. Why? Because I need that to build the extractor for the water, and I need the water up quickly. So that's a key, and I'm going to need it for a power source as well. So we'll do that. And then one more pod. I'm going to bring... Did I bring a drone hub? Oh, it's landing. Let's let the rocket land. Then I can see what prefabs that I got, because I can't remember, you know? I think I brought the drone hub. Okay. Yes, I did. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to bring up, I'm going to bring up another electronics bit. And I'm going to bring up some more polymers because I'm going to need them for the dome, and a little bit more machine parts. launch. Now that's about all I really want to be bringing up just at the moment. But you can scan the anomaly. And there's a couple of things I need to do right away. First of them is to get a storage down. And then I need to start with a water extractor. Yep. And then over here, a concrete extractor. Bam. And I need... What do I need? Power. One of these takes 8 concrete. What does this take? 6. Okay. What does this take? 4. Yeah, but I don't have metals right handy to... Right, okay. I'm going to actually build one of these. I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to max that out. And then I'm going to add a power and a power down to here. Okay. That will need metals. That will come from the pods initially. Uh-huh. So off we go. We got the scanning. The drones are doing their thing. These are on their way. And then I'm going to put the fuel refineries over here. Yep. Okay. And that means I'm going to need a pipe, which will come in like this down to here. Okay. So why did I insist on this first? So that we can... what are you carrying? Oh, yeah, that's fine. Because I need to have the power running for any of this stuff to be useful. And this will need to go up after. Okay. Um, okay. Well, I'm going to up the tempo here, and we'll get the... oh, also need to scan some of these sectors. Yeah. Um, so we want to reveal things like, breakthroughs and whatever, right? Uh, and that would be sort of useful. Oh, something I always forget to do. Need one of these. Uh, okay, we completed uh, Explorer AI. Milestone. Which milestone? Scan an anomaly. Okay, now what did that reveal? Okay, that one would be okay for a queue up. Okay. So we'll let these guys continue arriving at whatever rate they're going to arrive at. I haven't put the drone hub up yet because I want to save the maintenance on it. But what I am going to do is put up the sensor towers. That seems like a good idea. Since these have no maintenance, it doesn't matter where we put them. So I'll just put them there. The reason for 6 of them is that maxes out the warning you get for disasters. Now, we can let all these guys land. We'll get 20 medals out of this as well, by the way, which will be extremely useful. Okay. Now, clear that. Clear that. Clear that. Clear that. And then we've got we've got surface metals down here, right? So we're going to grab our transport and collect them. Bring them up here. Okay. That will get concrete in for this guy. So that's 17 power, and that will let this guy actually start operating. Which will start okay. Now that will start what's our power grid? Yeah, these guys can be turned off until this guy's up. But I'm going to need a second concrete extractor. Because I'm going to need 80 concrete to build the dome. And that's going to be important. So we're going to do this and power it. Okay, just like that. Okay. Now, I really want another one of these. So I'm going to build it, but not there. Maybe there? No, that's potentially in the way of the dome. No. There? Yeah, there. Okay. There is also something I want to get underway reasonably quickly, and that is a ramp up to this plateau because there's surface metals up here, right? And that's going to be important later. So, right, it's over under here, and then here, and then here. Minimum sized ramp. And we need to come up. So from here, maybe? Yeah, from here up to here. Has excess waste rock. We're good. And then we grab the Drone controller commander, RC commander, bring them down there, and then we'll build the ramp. And that's what we'll also build the ramp down into here, and other things like that. That was a meteor. Okay, the extract. Ooh, 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 this is good. While digging in the dirt, a drone has stumbled upon a crashed supply pod. Almost entirely buried in the red sand, the pod cannot be identified as its hull is too burnt, etc. We discover several blueprints of unknown purpose inside. Our team stares at the strange designs, trying to make sense of them, and you decide to join in. Clearly, the part designated as 01-K64 goes into the power couplings here, and oh, Eureka! You know what this is. A triple electric scrubber would be great, but one of them is not really helpful. A subsurface heater would be great, but two lasers would be great, but they take a lot of power. A shuttle hub would also be good, because it lets us move resources around without having to do a drone relay. So having this, and if we make the milestone, having two shuttle hubs would actually be quite useful. On the other hand, a subsurface heater, but see, the thing about a subsurface heater is we can actually research that quickly. So, shuttle hub. It takes electronics to maintain, though. MDS lasers take electronics to maintain. Subsurface heater, however, we'd be able to build it without machine parts. It's maintained with metals. Having the laser prefabs for later, though, could be good. I'm gonna grab the lasers because they should be quite far down the tech list. I'm not gonna build them right away because of the power requirement and maintenance requirement, but that is still an important thing. So something else that I need to do also is flatten out. I'm going to pause while I do this. I need to flatten out where I'm going to put the dome, which is going to be over here. And flatten out a bit of the area around it as well. Up to about there. There. Down to about there. Yeah. Blam. Okay. The dome will slot in here. So we'll let the drones work on that when they have a moment as well. This has extra waste rock as well. But we got an anomaly. It's a breakthrough. Okay. Explorer. Go explore the breakthrough. Maybe it'll be a good breakthrough. That would be good. And this here is just about done. Oh, I want to queue up the ramp going down here as well. Come on. That is a long. Wow. We really can't get down from there. Ah. So that must be what they've changed with the map. Made this steeper. Uh, okay. Grab that again and try again, but with a different start point. Must connect two terraces. Too many hexes. There it is. Blam. Okay. That is a long ramp. Okay, we'll let things roll here. Ah, we can start this guy up. And how's our power? Yeah, we don't have enough power for the second one yet. Okay, let's get the guy up and running. And yeah, so we need 2 more concrete. We'll get that. And then I'm going to need to bring up some machine parts as well. What? You're broken? Of course you are. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Earth Council. This is an important part that we need to deal with here. So I'll deal with this and then I'll put the cut in, I think. So everybody's content or happy, right? Now we're going to choose a law. Now the law that we really want in this case is rocket speed deregulation. Uh, it says rockets travel 25% faster, but that's not quite true. As far as I've been able to make out, they travel 25% faster than the standard rocket Earth-Mars speed. That means that it negates the long ride rule and they go faster while it's in effect. But note that it costs 100 research points per sol. So I'm going to prepare this. So in 2 sols, we'll be able to enact it. Um, okay. Just do that one preferentially. Faction opportunity, build a dome. Okay. I'm going to leave it here. Put the cut in. And then I'll come back and we'll deal with the next bit. So, like, comment, subscribe, all that business, for the YouTubes. Smash the dislike button, whatever you want to do or not do, entirely up to you. And I guess maybe I'll see you back for the next part.